Good day, everyone. So we will discuss for today the dimorphic fungi. So these are the fungal organisms that may occur as molds in the environment and when cultured on SDA at 25 to 30 degrees Celsius. And they occur as yeast forms in animal tissues and when cultured at 37 degrees Celsius on brain-heart infusion agar with 5% blood. Saprophyte in soil and decaying vegetation produce opportunistic infections in animals and humans. So these are the different dimorphic fungal associated to cause systemic infections. We have Blastomyces dermatitidis, Histoplasma capsulatum, Histoplasma farciginosum, Coccidioides imitis, Pisporofriction Thai, Paracoccidioides brasiliensis, and Emmontia. These other dimorphic fungi. So we'll start with the Blastomyces dermatitidis, causing blastomycosis in dogs and humans. So the disease is canine blastomycosis, seen in young male sporting breeds of dogs. Infection is by inhalation. Pulmonary blastomycosis is the usual form of the disease, and it is a chronic debilitating condition. It can also disseminate or spread to skin, eyes, and bones in animals with low immunity. CNS and urogenital tract are occasionally affected. This is encountered in North America, Africa, Middle East, and India. Usual habitat is unknown, but it was isolated from moist acid soil rich in organic matter. So the condition is blastomycosis, mainly in dogs and humans, characterized by granulomatous nodules involving the skin and subcutaneous or subcutis or lung, with possible metastasis or spread to other internal organs in man and animals. So for canine blastomycosis, as we mentioned, young male dogs of sporting breeds are the susceptible or prone to infection. Pulmonary blastomycosis was reported following inhalation. There is coughing, exercise intolerance, and dyspnea. Infection is limited to lungs and associated lymph nodes. Dissemination involves other organs, skin, eyes, and bones in animals with inadequate or incompetent cell-mediated immunity. Okay, CNS are occasionally affected and urogenital tract. Treatment is by amphotericin B combined with ketoconazole. So these are the laboratory diagnosis, culturing the organism in Subrodextrus agar in brain-heart infusion at 37 to reveal the yeast form, and then for the mold form, 25 to 30 at with SDA. Commercially available nucleic acid probes, PCR, serological tests like ELISA, immunoassay to detect the fungal antigen in serum and urine. Okay, these are additional info. Treatment, amphotericin, flucytosine, ketoconazole. So the blastomyces dermatitidis in humans, it is called as North American blastomycosis. It is of the organism, this dimorphic fungi is known to be free-living, distributed in soil of a large section of the Midwestern and Southeastern U.S. When human inhale 10 to 100 conidia, convert to yeast, and it will be multiplied in the lungs. Symptoms in humans include cough, fever, and there is also cutaneous involvement. This is a chronic form. Also involves the bone and nervous system complication. Treated with amphotericin B. This is the appearance of the blastomyces dermatitidis. Next, we have Histoplasma capsulatum. It causes histoplasmosis, a localized and benign or occasionally generalized and fatal disease. involving the reticuloendothelial system, lungs, intestines, affecting dogs, cats, sheep, pigs, horses, and man, worldwide in distribution. Fungus occurs in soil with fowl or bat droppings. So we discussed the Cryptococcus neoformans in pigeon droppings, while this Histoplasma capsulatum is usually found in the fowl or bat droppings. The usual habitat is the soil, which is enriched with the bird or bat feces. So that's why it is known to be a soil saprophyte. For the recognition and lab diagnosis, same with Blastomyces dermatitidis, it is cultured on STA at 25 to 30 to reveal the mold form, while to reveal the yeast form, with the yeast colonies, it is incubated at 37 degrees Celsius on brain heart infusion agar with cysteine and 5% blood. Commercially available nucleic acid probe, gem-sustained smear of the exudate or aspirates, histopathological examination of affected tissues with periodic acid shift or methanamine silver, molecular technique to detect fungal DNA, a positive skin test, which is called as histoplasmin test, indicate exposure to the fungus. So in dogs and cats, the condition is canine and feline histoplasmosis. Most infections are asymptomatic. Mode of transmission is inhalation. Granulomatous lesions can be found in the lungs of dogs and cats, and disseminated disease is reported also in dogs and cats with defective cell-mediated immunity. In dogs, there is ulcerative intestinal lesion, which is rare in cats. In dogs, there is chronic cough, persistent diarrhea, and emaciation, peripheral lymphadenitis, ulcerative skin nodule, eye lesion, and lameness, neurological dysfunction, but these are less frequently encountered. In cats, pulmonary form is reported, characterized by dyspnea, depression, fever, and loss of weight. Treatment is itraconazole, which is the drug of choice because it has low toxicity. Other antifungal drugs are ketoconazole and amphotericin B. So these are the diagnoses. So in human, it is also called as Ohio Valley fever. This is the most common true pathogen causing histoplasmosis in human. Of course, this is a dimorphic fungi distributed worldwide, most prevalent in eastern and central regions of US. Grows in moist soil, high in nitrogen content. Inhaled conidia produce primary pulmonary infection that may progress to systemic involvement of a variety of organs and chronic lung disease. So this is how human acquire Histoplasma capsulatum. So the soil that is containing bird droppings, when whipped up by the wind, can be inhaled by humans, and this will now go to the respiratory tract in the lungs. The patient now will develop mild pneumonitis. And in the tissue phase of infection, the yeast phase develop. It is phagocytosed and multiply by budding intracellularly, and most patients recover without complications. But in some cases, phagocytes enter the blood and may cause the systemic or disseminated form of the disease that affects a number of organs like the brain, heart, bone, intestines, kidneys, and even liver. So it can become systemic. Next, we have Histoplasma farcinosum, which is known to cause epizootic lymphangitis or pseudofarcy of horses, mules, and donkeys, characterized by chronic cutaneous, subcutaneous lymphangitis, endemic among horses in Africa and Asia. So the main host of Histoplasma parsiminosus are the equidae or horses. For the Blastomyces dermatitidis are dogs and humans. For the Histoplasma capsulatum, which was recently discussed, are dogs, cats, and humans. So the epizootic lymphangitis is a contagious disease of horses, of equidae. Infection acquired from environmental sources through minor skin abrasion or on the limbs. Primary ocular and pulmonary involvement were reported. Lymphocutaneous lesion resembling equine farcing can be spread by biting insects and contaminated grooming gear and harness. So this is how we diagnose culturing the organism in the Subrhodexus agar. And we can also use other method like immunodiffusion test, FAT, mice inoculation technique. To suppress bacterial contaminant, we can add antibiotics like penicillin to the specimen before culturing to inhibit bacterial growth. And then we can also use mice inoculation technique. Treatment is using iodides and ketoconazole. Surgical excision of skin lesion with sodium iodide. And amphotericin B is not recommended for acute histoplasmosis. Ethylvanillate, ketoconazole, miconazole, nystatin, and sulfonamide. Next, we have Coccidioides immitis, which is known to be a geophilic fungus. Large spherules containing endospores develop in tissues, grow in the soil of arid or semi-arid low-lying areas, infect animals and humans. Potential bioterrorism pathogen in the U.S. Biphasic rather than dimorphic, typical yeast forms are not produced, and respiratory infection results from inhalation of Arthrochonidia or arthrospores. So it causes coccidioidomycosis or San Joaquin Valley disease or desert fever, a localized and benign progressive fatal disease of a wide range of animals and man in the arid areas of North and South America, characterized by formation of nodules and granulomas in different internal organs, especially lungs, bronchial, and mediastinal lymph node. Most important in cattle and dogs, and highly infectious. It was also reported in horses, in humans, in cats. Recognition and laboratory diagnosis by clinical findings, histopathology, culture and SDA at 25 to 30 degrees Celsius, nucleic acid probe for identification of culture, spherules of Coccidioides immitis demonstrated in exudate or aspirates, cleared with 10% potassium hydroxide, history, radiography of the thorax, positive skin test. So we have the coccidioidein test using filtrate of a mycelial culture that indicate exposure to the fungus, complement fixation, agar gel immunodiffusion, and latex or latex agglutination test to demonstrate rising antibody titer. So in dogs, the condition is canine coccidioidomycosis, causes mild pulmonary coccidioidomycosis resulting to fever, coughing, inappetence. So the animal may recover spontaneously, but when there is extensive pulmonary lesion, there is persistent coughing, weakness, depression, fluctuating fever, and loss of weight. Osteomyelitis with lameness, bone destruction that is related to immunosuppression, skin may be affected. Treated with ketoconazole for 6 months. Equine coccidioidomycosis, clinical signs are nonspecific, include intermittent fever, abdominal pain, loss of weight, evidence of pulmonary and musculoskeletal involvement. Pulmonary disease was reported in about 60% of cases with coughing. Musculoskeletal pain is associated with osteomyelitis, 1/3 of infected animals. Recurrent superficial abscessation. In case of abortion, there's thickening of the placenta, plaque-like lesions on the umbilical cord, and nodules in the lungs of the fetus. Treatment is unsuccessful in cases of disseminated or systemic coccidioidomycosis. So this is how we diagnose by culturing the organism, by mouse pathogenicity test, serological tests, complement fixation, fusion antibody test, agar gel, diffusion test, coccidioidean skin test. So coccidioidomycosis in humans, it is usually found in alkaline soil, in semi-arid, hot climate, and is endemic to southwestern U.S. Arthrospores are inhaled by human from dust, creates spherules and nodules in the lungs, and treatment is by amphotericin B. So this is how human acquire coccidioides immitis. So since the organism is a saprophyte in the soil, so once human, through various activities like digging in soil, produce aerosol of arthrospores, and these arthrospores are inhaled that will establish lung infection. These arthrospores develop into spherules that produce endospores or spores, and this will now be released into the lungs. Immunocompetent persons usually effectively fight infection and return or recover, while those that are immunocompromised may develop meningitis, osteomyelitis, and skin granuloma. Next, we have the Sporotric Schenkii, belong to the phylum Ascomycota. The disease is sporotrichosis. The organism is a saprophytic on dead or senescent vegetation, like rose thorns, timber, hay, straw, sphagnum moss, widely distributed in the environment, occurs worldwide in tropical and subtropical regions. It causes disease sporadically in horses, cats, dogs, and humans. The site of lesions usually are skin and lymphatic vessels. So these are the characteristics of Sporotric Schenkii. So for the pathogenicity, it forms nodule along lymphatic channels, especially in hands, feet, head of horses, dogs, humans, cats, and the organism is found intracellularly in macrophages. So the condition in horses is known to be equine sporotrichosis, which may involve the lymphatic vessels of horses. Lymphocutaneous sporotrichosis is the most common form of the disease. Nodules ulcerate and discharge with yellowish exudate develop along superficial lymphatic vessel. Subcutaneous edema in the affected limb from a lymphatic obstruction. Treatment is by inorganic iodides administered in the feeds and surgical excision in early lesion. Treatment by itraconazole, fluconazole, voriconazole are effective for lymphocutaneous sporotrichosis. Next, we have feline sporotrichosis, which has a cutaneous and lymphocutaneous forms. Nodular skin lesions most often involve the limbs, extremities, head, tail. Secondary nodules develop along course of lymphatics. Infection may spread to other skin site by grooming. Itraconazole, fluconazole, voriconazole, sodium iodide, and ketoconazole are the drugs of choice. For canine or dog sporotrichosis, there are multiple ulcerated, crusted, and alopecia cutaneous lesion over the head and trunk. Lymphocutaneous form occurs occasionally, but disseminated disease is rare. Treatment is seen in cats. So this is how we diagnose using FAT and periodic acid shift stain to demonstrate the spherical and cigar-shaped bodies, culturing the fungal organism in SDA, mice inoculation technique. Okay, so in humans, of course, the disease is known to be also sporotrichosis or rose gardener's disease. Very common saprobic or saprophytic fungus that decomposes plant matter in soil. In fact, appendages and lungs, lymphocutaneous variety occurs when contaminated plant matter penetrate the skin and the pathogen form a nodule, then spread to nearby nodes. So this is the appearance of sporodic chancre. Okay, so next we have the Paracoccidioides brasiliensis, which is known to cause paracoccidioidomycosis. Distributed in Central and South America, lung infection occurs through inhalation or inoculation of spore. Systemic disease is not common. Treatment with ketoconazole, amphotericin B, and sulfa drugs. Okay, so this is the appearance. And that ends our discussion on dimorphic fungi.